Hey y'all, how's it going? My name is Lena and welcome to my garden. I'm a gardener from Zone 8 in Pacific Northwest of Washington State. I've been plant shopping for the last 2 days and I'd like to show you what I brought home with me. I don't know if I'm the only one or if all new gardeners tend to think alike, but 4 years ago when I decided to turn my backyard into a flower garden, I went plant shopping and I kind of went for this big, bold, beautiful blooms of, say, like the lilies or the tulips like the ones I have behind me here, or hydrangeas, peonies, or camellias. And a couple of seasons on, I realized that my garden is full of these big, beautiful blooms, and it's really nice, but what I lack in my garden are like some small delicate flowers that are long blooming and that are wonderful to have and that add feminine touch to the garden as well. So we're going to talk about this one first. This flower blooms in clusters of hot pink small flowers like this, and it has like succulent characteristics to the leaves, to the touch, like they feel thick and pretty soft. And this is a plant called Lewisia Cotyledon, and I have never seen it before, nor have I bought it before in my garden. But then again, I'm pretty new, I'm only 4 years in, and there are a lot of plants that I haven't seen before. This plant at maturity is gonna grow to 6 to 8 inches tall and 4 to 6 inches wide, and it is hardy down to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's pretty hardy to me. And it blooms from late spring all the way through fall. This little one here, I'm going to put this one next to my lavender out front, and I hope that it's gonna be happy there. So that's the first one. The second one that I like to show you is this exotic looking flower here, and this is a plant called Bachelor button, Centaurea montana. Look at the blooms, guys. It's got this really, it looks like spiky looking petals that are white on the outer ring, and it's purple in the center. It looks a little bit like daisies, I don't know. And I don't know what this part of the flower is called, but it's got this really beautiful pattern going on there. It's such a gorgeous plant. So I read online that this plant can be invasive, so you kind of have to be careful where you put it because they tend to self-seed, and like sometimes they will appear in parts of the gardens that you may not want them. But I have a perfect spot for this to go to, and it could go as rampant as they like. So that is Bachelor button. And then next is this beautiful thing right here. It's also hot pink, just like the first plant that I showed you, the Lewisia. It's almost like the same color as my shirt, I think. So right now it is standing at probably like 12 to 15 inches tall, and this is Penstemon, and it's a variety called Pristine. So at maturity is going to be 14 to 18 inches tall and the same in width, and is hardy down to minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This plant, from what I read online, it says that it does not enjoy soil that is too rich. So try not to fertilize it or water it, or try not to love it too much. And I have a bald spot in the front of my yard next to a bunch of lavender, and in that area I have really well drained soil, and I try to not fertilize or water it too much, and I hope that this will be happy there. So that's where it's gonna go today. Next I have also another pink plant. You'll notice that a lot of the plants that I brought home with me today and yesterday are all pink, and that's because I want to put them in the front of my garden. I have a pollinator paradise, is what I call it, along my driveway, and the color scheme there is pinks and purples. And so a lot of pinks and purples today, you guys. And these are all sun-loving, by the way. I'm sorry, I should have mentioned that earlier in the video. All of the plants that I'm showing today are full sun-loving plants. This one is called Belleza Compact Light Pink Gaura, and it has a very, very delicate looking flowers. My goodness, she's beautiful. And she's also pink, but she has like kind of like a red, I don't know, like veins like running through the center. So from afar it looks kind of like reddish pink or like almost purplish pink. And this plant at maturity, it's supposed to bloom spring, summer, and fall, by the way, according to the tag. At maturity it's supposed to be 12 to 18 inches height and 16 to 20 inches wide. And when I read about this online, it says that it enjoys rich humus soil. And so I'm gonna put this next to my roses and my lilies. And that area I keep well watered, and I fertilize once or twice in spring. And so I hope it'll be happy there. So this is Gaura, or Gaura. I think it's Gaura. Okay, next is a climbing vine. This plant may not be new to a lot of gardeners, but for me it's super new. I have never had anything like this before. This is honeysuckle variety called Goldflame. And you know, when I think about the name Goldflames, I think maybe orange, red, or yellow, but that's not the case with this little beauty. So she's pink, but when she opens up she'll have like yellow in the center. I've only seen pictures online. I have never seen this in person anywhere in my area, and I've never had this in my garden, so I'm super excited. This plant is, so it doesn't really say how long or how tall it'll grow as a vine, but I'm guessing probably 10 to 15 feet in height. And it's supposed to bloom from spring, summer, and fall. So it's super long blooming. Ooh, I'm so excited about my honeysuckle. Although when I read online about honeysuckle, it says that they can be very invasive, but that's only some varieties. And then when I read about Goldflame honeysuckle, it says that it's not invasive, but I don't know. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna put this along my fence on the far side of my house, and it's super sunny there, so I hope it'll love it. It suggests here that spacing should be about 8 to 10 feet, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be the same in height, so maybe 10 feet tall and 10 feet wide. And it's hardy down to minus 20 to minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit, so it's super hardy. So that's honeysuckle Goldflame. I see a lot of buds on here already that are ready to open, so yay! Next are some heathers, and I have two varieties in my hands here. This one is a pinker variety called CD Eason Heather, and this is a summer blooming heather. This one is purple bell heather, and it's summer and fall blooming varieties. So I don't really have space for these two plants, so at maturity they're going to be about a foot tall and 3 feet wide. I don't have a spot in my garden for a low growing widespread plant, so I'm gonna keep these two in containers, and I'm gonna place them on my sunny patio. My last plant for the day is this shrub right here, and this is evergreen in my area in zone 8. In other zones I'm not sure if they'll stay evergreen, but this is called Pink Princess Escallonia. And this one, even though it's not in bloom, I saw ones from other companies in the same garden center that was in bloom, so I know exactly what the blooms look like, but I didn't pick up that one because that one was quite expensive. This one is under $10, by the way. And everything I brought, everything I just showed you guys today were either $9.99, $8.99, or like $11. So ranging from $8 to $11 today, including this shrub right here. At maturity, it's going to be about 6 feet tall and 5 feet wide. So it's quite, you know, it's quite big, but not too big. And the blooms stay on this plant in spring, summer, fall, and winter. Oh my goodness, wow. Yeah, I am so excited about this. I have a perfect spot for it as well, in the north side of my garden, but that area gets like south shining sunshine, so it's gonna get full sun. and I have a little window looking out in that section, so I want to see this plant all year round. And so those are all the plants that I brought home with me, guys. If you're looking for some small delicate flowers that are long blooming, you might want to keep these guys in mind. I'm gonna go plant them now, and I'm gonna do that on my own time. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Bye.